Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, it's Dave, and it's yoga class 194, and we are here to do some yoga together. So thank you if you've got this far. Fantastic stuff, really, really amazing stuff. Well done for making it onto your mat. We're going to start seated today, and we'll probably just jump straight into it. Not too much preamble from me today. And we've got about 40 minutes, something like that. Feel free to drop in some comments if you want. I'm going to put the comments on now. Sometimes they're a little bit dodgy. Not the comments are dodgy, by the way, but sometimes I don't see the comments come through, but I can see them all beautifully today. So I will come back maybe towards the end of the class and just see who joined. But say hi and well done for making it this far. Remember, the most important thing when you're doing yoga is get yourself a drink. I always drink tea. Not always. Sometimes I drink coffee, but in the afternoons I drink tea. So make sure you're hydrated. Not that we're going to go crazy today, but we'll do, a fair amount of movement, and make sure that you're warm enough, right? We had that weekend last weekend. How good was that? All right, Jackie. All right, Margaret. See, there you go. You pop up. Yeah, we had that weekend last weekend. I was down in Wales in the Brecon Beacons, which was beautiful, in my camper van. And I was cooking outside. And then I was back in Leicester on Monday and I went outside and it was freezing again, like super, super cold. So, yeah. Make sure you're warm enough, because like central nervous system stuff, right? What we're trying to do in yoga a lot of the time is we're trying to calm ourselves down, right? We're trying to get in balance, this homeostasis, like this kind of balance in the body, and nervous system stuff is a lot to do with that. And if we're too hot and we're too cold, it kind of sends the nervous system a little bit haywire. So do what you need to do in terms of heat and a drink. So I'm going to go back here. I think everything's set. Feel free if you want to sit on something. That's a really cool thing to do. You can always sit on a blanket, or you can sit on a mat, like a cushion, not on a mat. You're on a mat anyway, probably. And what we'll do is we'll arrive and we'll spend a little bit of time just being still. And I will spend a little bit of time being quiet. And then you can close your eyes or you can soften your gaze. And then you can just drop into your practice and you can just check out what you need to check out. So close the eyes and so we'll stay here for, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes. I'm not timing it, so I will kind of just guesstimate where we are with the time. Just notice your breath in your body. Notice how you set yourself up with a nice tall spine. And maybe take another 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. And then if you had your eyes closed, then very gently come with your eyes open. If your gaze was soft, then maybe you just kind of blink your eyes a couple of times. Really lovely starting one. Lean back into your hands and maybe separate your feet. And then maybe just drop your knees to either side. Just bring in, that fullness of breath into this little movement of just knocking your knees to either side. See how this feels. And then eventually coming back to center. Grab a little drink if you need one, or a big one, not too big. And then what we'll do is we'll just start with a little twist. So when you're ready, from this seated position, take an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. And then as you exhale, twist over towards the right. So your left hand will come on the right knee, and then your right hand will be behind you. And then inhale to find length. And then exhale into your twist. Inhaling, finding length. Exhale into your twist. And just moving like that a few times. Inhale to find length. Exhale into your twist. One more round of breath. Lovely. And then when you're ready, inhale, come all the way back up. Maybe bring the hands right up, spread out through the fingers. And if you want, maybe look up towards your hands. Feel your arms lengthen here, but try and relax your shoulder blades down your back. And then as you exhale, twist over to the left. So the right hand will come on the left knee, the left hand will be behind. Inhale to find length. Exhale into your twist. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling into your twist. One more round of breath. Nice, deep, rich inhale. And a full release and exhale. Beautiful. Bring the hands back to center and then inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up again. And then this time, what I'd like you to do is you with the right hand, hold on to the left wrist. So right hand holds the left wrist. Now you can have a nice generous bend in the elbows here. Make sure your kind of sit bones are rooted down into the floor. You can have a little wriggle around, but you lengthen your spine as much as you can. And then see if you can then take an inhale, just lengthen the arms just a little bit more. And then as you exhale, a little bend over towards the right. Don't feel like you've got to go down too far. You might roll that right shoulder forward, the left shoulder back. You can twist it a little bit more. The gaze might go kind of towards the left. Nice deep inhales and full exhale. So guess what I'm trying to encourage you to do is just wriggle into a shape that feels good. Nice stretch down the left-hand side of the body. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Just comb them all the way down, nice and slowly. Nice. Bring the hands onto the knees. And then just begin to circle your torso around your hips. So you just do this little Sufi grind. Inhale forward, exhale round. Inhale forward, exhale round. So just get into this nice movement. You stay nice and relaxed through the face. And you're picking a direction and you're just moving in that direction that feels good for you. So remember, you can sit a little taller, you can be here, or you can bend a little deeper into the elbows, inhaling and exhaling. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Take a full exhale. And then just come back the other way. Nice, powerful breath. Remember, if your spine feels a little tight, then these movements, it's just a different version, right? You're just kind of circling. The circles are a little bit smaller, but you still get that lovely movement through your hips and your spine, where you can join me. And, you know, it's a movement that I'm quite used to, so I kind of like to bend into my elbows a little here. Inhale, come back to center. And take a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. Exhale, this time frame the hands down through center. Do that one more time. Inhaling up. And exhaling, framing the hands down through center. Nice. Lean back into the hands. Separate the feet. And then just drop your knees to either side. Nice. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then if you can remember, bring your other shin in front, just so you don't get that imbalance in your hips. Feel free to, again, grab a little drink if you need one. And then we'll repeat that little side stretch on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms up. And then this time, you're going to hold on. Which side did we go to first? We went towards the right, didn't we? So you're going to use your left hand to hold on to the right wrist. So find the grip first of all. You don't have to kind of lengthen your arms at this point. Press your sit bones down into the floor. So first of all, the spine is long, shoulders are somewhat relaxed. Then you can inhale and maybe you lengthen the arms a little more. Then as you exhale, just that little side bend towards the right. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe roll that right shoulder forward, the left shoulder back. Maybe the other way where you roll the left shoulder back, the right shoulder forward. Whatever feels good. So you just have a little wriggle around here to be ultimately finding this space down the right side of the body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring the hands down again. And then this time a little bit of movement through the neck, through the head. So maybe rest your hands onto your front shin. That's a nice place for them to go. Shoulders are relaxed, drop your chin down towards your sternum. And then just rock your chin a little side to side. And then if you wanted to, you can circle your head out. Come back the other way. So you bring your chin back down and then just circle your head out in the opposite direction. Now, if you feel like there's tension in the neck, there's tension in the head, then be really gentle as you move here. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, bring your head all the way back to center. And take a full exhale. Beautiful, really nice. Let's do a couple more things seated. So again, make sure you're comfortable. I'm just going to swap my legs out. That can feel quite nice. It's quite nice to do this sometimes. You kind of root down into your fingers. You can even lift your sit bones and make sure that everything feels aligned. So a lot of time in yoga, we're thinking about alignment, shoulders, hips, make sure that everything kind of sits in one plane, so even though we don't need to obsess about alignment and posture, it is kind of important in terms of how much room do we give ourselves to breathe into. Okay, so let's do a nice gentle breath and then we'll move a little bit more in some flow. So we'll come onto all fours and we'll flow a little bit. So what I'd like us to do is just some alternate nostril breathing, because I think it just sets the practice up really well. Just keeping my eye on the time. We've got plenty of time in this class. So you'll use your right hand and the left hand can stay on your knee, palm up or palm down. And what you do is you'll block off your right nostril with your right thumb and then take an inhale through your left nostril. And then close off your left nostril with the ring finger or little finger, and then exhale through the right. Inhale through your right. Close off your right, exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Close off left, exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close off right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close off left, exhale right. Stay here a little longer. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. A few more rounds. Inhale left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Two more rounds. Inhale left. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close it off, exhale left. Inhale left. Close it off, switch, exhale right. Inhale right. One more time, close it off, exhale left. You bring the right hand down and then just let your breath come back to a nice steady rhythm. See that breath feels within your body. Really nice work. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll come on to all fours. nice and gently, without too much disturbance. So stay nice and quiet, nice and slow movements, especially after that alternate nostril breathing. Can be nice and calming. And now we're going to shift the gears a little bit, not too much, but we'll demand a little bit more of our body and our breath. So stay connected to your breath. From here, from this all fours position, nice big spread out through your fingers. And then let's work a little bit into our wrists. So if you can do this, see if you can turn your fingers just to the edges of your mat. You can see I've just spun my fingers out, and maybe just rock a little side to side. This doesn't certainly have to be like a big movement. It can be quite small. And then if you want, you can turn the fingers all the way back. So I'm going to shuffle my knees in just so I don't put too much strain into my wrists. And then your fingers are pointing back towards the knees. And this feels good for me, but it might feel too strong. So be here or be here or be here, whatever feels good. Don't ever push here. But for me, this is a nice stretch. And I think overall, it kind of builds a little bit of strength in your wrists and kind of stretches your wrists out. Wrists and these parts of the body can get quite tight. Wherever you found yourself, very slowly come all the way back to center. And then if you can, sit back onto your heels. If that's not available to you, sit on something, or you can sit cross-legged again. So you might go cross-legged. From here, we'll bring our arms out, and then you'll make fists. So the arms are nice and long, and then just draw some circles with your wrists. Pick a direction. Maybe you notice how one wrist moves, the other wrist moves. Maybe it's slightly different. There's nothing wrong with that. But you kind of want to keep your arms long. You're not kind of locking your elbows out here, but you're keeping the arms relatively long. And then come back the other way. Nice and gentle, slow. And then give the hands a little shake out. And then what we'll do is we'll do these finger bursts. So we're going to move like this, okay? So what I like to do here is the fingers will stretch out. Then I'll tuck my thumbs in and I'll wrap my fingers around the thumbs. Then I'll inhale out, and then I'll bring the thumb on the other side. So one time the thumb's tucked, one time the thumb wraps the fingers, okay? You can do that if you want, but don't feel like it has to be that specific. Okay, so nice and fast. So again, this kind of builds strength. You'll feel it in the forearms as well a little bit. So you just kind of move at a rate that feels good for you. Stretching the fingers, bringing the fingers in, whatever feels good. Nice. And then give the hands a little shake out. Beautiful. Come back to all fours. Now you'll feel like the wrists maybe feel a little more energized, a little more open. And then give your right leg a big stretch out. Press into the right toes and maybe even lift the right leg up into the air. I'm losing it behind the fire a little bit today, but you get the idea. So the right leg is up in the air and pointing the toes down towards the floor. And I'm feeling just that lengthening through the right side of my body. Now, if I wanted to, I can bend into the right knee and maybe just flex the right knee up and down a little bit. Now, see how that feels. Nice. And then lengthen the right leg back out. And like we normally do, turn the right toes to the long right edge of your mat if you can. So you see I've turned the toes. Left hand under the nose, and then inhale the right arm up. Just a few breaths. Adaptive side plank. We've already moved through the neck. So if you want to look up towards the right fingers, be my guest and breathe it out here. Try not to kind of lose the activation through this right side. So you're pressing the outer edge of the right foot, lifting the right arm. You can look up, you can look down. Feel that space you're creating. So you're kind of stacking the shoulders on top of each other. Wrists on top of each other. We've done all that work a minute ago through the wrists, so hopefully feeling a nice stretch through the body here. One more round of breath. Beautiful. Exhale, come back down, and then move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So from all fours, inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head, lift your heart. Exhale as you round your spine. So just begin to move backwards and forwards. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Few more rounds. Inhale, come back to center. Then as you exhale, we'll fall into a child's pose. So for here, this one, we just split the knees a little wider. You can come back onto the sit bones or towards that. And sometimes you bring your head onto your hands, or you can bring your forehead down directly on the floor. And maybe just have a little wriggle around side to side. Some nice generous movements here. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Deep, rich inhales, full. Releasing exhales. Couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to center. It's nice, isn't it, in that child's pose? Really nice protective pose, but also allows us lots of room to breathe into, so it can feel very nourishing. You're getting the full length of your breath into the back of your body. We'll go back there in a moment, but for now, let's lengthen out through the left leg. Maybe even look down the left leg, point the toes down towards the floor, and then moving a little backwards and forwards if that feels good. Maybe bend into the left knee, and you can kind of pulse the left knee up and down. Whatever feels right for you. Nice. Then lengthen out through the left leg again. Press the left toes down into the floor, and then turn the left toes. So we'll do that little adapted side plank on this side. So right hand under the nose, big spread out through the right fingers before you move. Press into the outer edge of the left foot. So this left leg is nice and strong and long. Then you can inhale the left arm up. You just breathe it out here. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Maybe look up, maybe look down. Your choice. One more round of breath. And then exhale. Bring that left hand down. Come back to all fours, but this time what we'll do is we'll tuck our toes and come into downward facing dog. Nice and gentle. We won't do a huge amount of down dog today. If you want to go back to child's pose, feel free. You can have a generous bend in the knees. You can lengthen your spine, whatever feels good for you. Maybe bend one knee, maybe lengthen the other, or the other leg, I should say. Nice. And then from here, find a little bit of stillness. Find your down dog, a shape that works for you. Take one more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, drop the knees down, soften the hips back towards the heels, the forehead down onto the floor. And then just breathe it out here. Deep inhales. Full releasing exhales. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. One more deep inhale. And a full exhale. Bring yourself back to all fours, tuck your toes under again, do that nice and gently, come back into downward facing dog, and then arrive in down dog, take a couple of breaths. Remember, this big bend in the knees can really help find length in your spine. Breathe it out. And then what I'd like you to do is just walk your hands back towards your feet, really gently, slowly, walk your hands back, and then stay low. Maybe the hands come onto opposite elbows, you can sway around a little here. Whatever feels right for you. And then when you're ready, take an inhale just to lengthen your spine. So come up halfway. Rock the weight into your toes. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Come all the way in. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to hinge and fold. One more. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to hinge and fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, frame your hands to your heart. I thought I'd disappear behind the bookshelves there, but no, I'm still in view. All right, bring the hands forward. And then what I'd like you to do is just walk to the top of your mat very gently. And then let's do 3 rounds of sun salutation egg. We've not done sun salutations for a few weeks. So let's just do these nice and slowly, but we'll kind of flow through them, okay? So if you're not sure about sun salutations, there's lots of different types of sun salutations you can do. A is probably the most popular, the one you see the most. There's variations on a theme with all of them, but there's a B and a C. But I like A because it just allows us to forward fold, come into plank, come into downward facing dog, and there's a nice cobra in there, so you get that back bend. So all the movements we've done so far, now we can bring all the pieces together, and hopefully with our body feeling a little open and a little warmer, you're going to really benefit from this movement with the breath. Every movement has a breath, okay? So you kind of attach to the breath, but I'll cue you on all of that. Bring your hands to your heart, root your feet down into the floor, take an inhale, sweep the arms up. And then as you exhale, hinge and fold and come all the way down. Inhale to lengthen, come up halfway. And then exhale, hands are down and step back, one foot then the other. Take an inhale here to find length in your plank. And then as you exhale, drop your knees, keep your elbows tucked in right by the side of the body, and then lower all the way down onto your belly. Take an inhale into cobra. And then exhale, you lift the hips and you come into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here in down dog. Deep inhale. Full exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Bend your knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then step to the top of your mat. One foot and then the other. You land the feet as lightly as you can. And as many steps to get back to the top. Line the feet up. It's a nice habit to get into. Then inhale, come up to a flat back. So the spine is long. Exhale to hinge and fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's go 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down. Step it back. Inhale to find length. Exhale to lower. Drop the knees or lower in one piece like I'm doing right now so the knees are lifted. Inhale into cobra. Roll the shoulders back, heart center lifts. Exhale into downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. A deep inhale. A full exhale. Bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands. Gently step to the top of your mat. Inhale to re-lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down. Step 1 foot back. Step the other foot back. Inhale to find length. Exhale to lower. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into your dog. 2 rounds of breath. When you're ready, bend your knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and gently step to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then just pause, hands at your heart. Maybe the palms come forward, so I'll come and face you guys. You can be in Tadasana. And just breathe it out. And then come with your eyes open. Give your fingers just a little wriggle out. Kind of wriggle out through your fingers. See how that feels. Nice. And then we'll just do a little bit of opening through the body, through a little bit of twisting. Because we did some twists at the start. We did this kind of thing seated. You know, we did Sufi grind, which is kind of a twist in motion. But we'll do this one stood. So bring the right hand on the heart. Make sure you've got enough wingspan. We did it last week as well. So you kind of want to make sure that you can move like this, you know, and it doesn't have to be like a massive movement. It can be, you know, relatively small. So you bring your right hand on your heart. Inhale, left arm to the left. Exhale, right arm to the right. So you just kind of swing side to side. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Nice powerful breath. Inhale left, exhale right. And then begin to slow it down. And then as you do that, you might just drop the arms down. So I just kind of let go of some of the control of the arms. Keep breathing. See how this feels. And then eventually come back to center. Bring the palms so they're face forward. Take a deep inhale. Take a full exhale. One more round like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. From here, come to lie down on your backs. And if you want to bring something with you, like a cushion or a pillow or a blanket, something where you feel warm and you feel rested, go for it. You know, if you want that final drink before we come to lie down. We're nearly there, nearly coming to Shavasana. We'll have a few minutes in Shavasana, but maybe you bend your knees in towards your belly. You can kind of hold around the knees. You can lengthen your spine. You can rock a little side to side. Beautiful. Before we come into Shavasana, let's do a little twist. So walk the feet nice and wide, bring the arms out so they're kind of in line with your shoulders, palms face up, feet are right on the edges of your mat, and then just drop your knees over to the right. Just a few breaths here. Soften your left shoulder, maybe look down towards your left fingers. You can close the eyes once the head turns in that direction. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. Then inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhale, the knees over towards the left. Maybe look down towards the right. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Maybe one final hug of the knees in, and then this is your time. If you want to cover yourself, go for it. Bring the legs nice and long, or you can remain with the feet like this, with the feet on the floor, palms face up, and then just settle into this final pose. Shavasana, legs long, or feet on the floor. And we won't be here for long, a couple of minutes. And from here, when you're ready, just give your fingers and your toes a little wriggle out. Begin to bring some movements in. You might stretch the arms above the head. You might let them fall behind the head, whatever works. Maybe bend the knees in towards your belly. And eventually we'll arrive in a seated position. I'll come forward towards the camera, but you might just come and lie down on one side just for a couple of breaths, just to see how that feels. Beautiful work, everyone. I've got quite rosy again today. The same as last week. I've kind of warmed myself up. All right, lovely stuff. Bring your hands to your heart. Notice the effects of your practice. You know, thank yourself for showing up. It's a beautiful thing every time you make it onto your mat. With a wholehearted bow, just wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much for coming today. Remember, every week as well, or most weeks, I do chair yoga as well, but it varies the times that I do it. Usually on a Monday or a Wednesday, or Tuesday. A Monday or Tuesday. Do I do them on Wednesdays? No, I don't do them on Wednesdays. Mainly a Monday or a Tuesday. So check the schedule at the start of each week. I always forget when I'm on next week. But chair yoga, we do it for half an hour. So if you would benefit from chair yoga, or you know someone who would benefit from chair yoga, a lot of the stuff that we do down here on the mat, we can do in a chair. And it's amazing. I love chair yoga. I think it's a fantastic practice. So yeah, feel free to come and join me. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Margaret. Nice to have you along as well. I'm just having a look if anyone else said hello. No, but that's lovely. All right. Well, have a nice weekend, everyone. I hope it goes well. Look after yourselves. Stay nice and balanced and focused. And maybe see you next week for chair yoga or back here at 2:30 on Thursday. Namaste. Look after yourselves. Thank you, everyone. Bye now.